What's up guys, this is Rise bringing you another Go Battle League video, and today we're showcasing the real OG Pokemon. If any of you watched the main series games, or the main series TV shows rather, with Ash Ketchum, we're talking about Charizard. Not just Charizard, but Charizard with that shiny flare, that black shine to it. We're gonna get straight into these battles. We're leading Mewtwo for this set, I believe. For all the battles, even though I've been switching up my lineups a lot, trying to get a feel out for Ultra League. And Charizard would have been an amazing lead here. This is like the dream scenario, either against Articuno or Registeel for Charizard. This Icy Wind is going to debuff us twice, so we're going to switch out into Muck, and that way we're going to be able to match up Charizard with Articuno later on. This isn't a good matchup against Poliwrath for Alolan Muck, but we're going to go Gunk Shot, and that kind of allows us to flip this matchup a little bit. We're not going to shield because we don't want to get baited, and they're going to need 2 charge moves to take us out anyway. We know this is most likely just an Ice Punch, so we're not going to shield because we can still get off our Dark Pulse. This likely won't KO, but it'll get Poliwrath pretty close to going down, so we're okay with that. This comes down to the wire, and unfortunately Poliwrath wins with 1 HP. We come in with Mewtwo because even if they throw a Dynamic Punch, that won't be enough to KO, and we can get 1 extra Confusion worth of energy. I was expecting the Articuno to come in to farm down, so I just threw a Psystrike, but they come in with their own Mewtwo. So this isn't a great situation, but we do have a shield advantage. And I know the only real way I'm going to be able to come out of this matchup against Mewtwo is if, of course, I shield and I'm able to bait them with Dragon Claw. So I farm up past a Blast Burn. I go for the Dragon Claw. Can we get the shield? That would be huge. We get the shield. And this way we can get to this Blast Burn. And this will either take out or get very close to taking out Mewtwo. Gets very close. Unfortunately, they survive and get to a charge move. Not great for us. But now we're going against this Articuno. I didn't think we could get to a Blast Burn, so I just go for the Dragon Claw, and that way we ensure we do some damage. I tried to sack swap into Mewtwo. That didn't quite work out. They hit us with an Icy Wind. That's enough to take us out. Can we Confusion down? Yes. You know I'm not a big Confusion fan, and 1 more Confusion takes out that Mewtwo. That was actually super close. You know I'm not a big Confusion fan, but in that situation, being such a hard-hitting, fast move, even though it's so slow, Confusion really allowed us to take that matchup with very minimal HP left. Going into this next matchup, Mewtwo versus Swampert. This is a good lead for us. Nothing Swampert throws at us will hit for all too much damage. It will be able to outpace us. I decided to shield in case it's an Earthquake, and it is an Earthquake, so good use of a shield there. Now we're going to go for a Psystrike. This will take out about half health if it goes unshielded. They do decide to shield though. Swampert is so spammy. I'm going to let this one go. But they hit us with another Earthquake, so not great at all for us. We're over farming a little bit. We go for the Psystrike. It goes shielded. And let's see what I decide to do here. I decide to shield risky because they're so quick getting to charge moves, and yes, luckily we get to our Psystrike just before they get to another Hydro Cannon, so that worked out well. Now Snorlax comes in, and maybe I should have swapped out because that allowed them to farm up energy, and we probably could have gotten off a charge move later on if we swapped out with Mewtwo. So questionable play there on my part. Body Slam is going to hit us hard. We go for a Blast Burn here. This will hit Snorlax hard, and I assume we're going to swap out because we don't want them to farm down. And this is beautiful. Even though Togekiss isn't a great matchup for Muck, we have a Gunk Shot that we can farm up to before they get a charge move off, and this will one-shot the Togekiss. How about a like for the one-shot, the Gunk Shot? And you gotta love that trash can animation for Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck, I've said it in one of my videos already, it's my favorite Ultra League Pokemon to use. I highly recommend it. It was ranked like 41st in the meta early on. I think they've moved it up on PvPoke to 21. I don't know if that's a rework in how they do it, or if it's simply because the new Galarian forms are in. But yeah, very interesting there. A decent lead here, Mewtwo versus Registeel. Our Dynamic Punch will hit for super effective. So, and we're able to tank, actually, I believe, 3 Flash Cannons before we have to shield to survive. Dynamic Punch goes through, that's great. Maybe only 2 Flash Cannons, excuse me, that we can tank. Yeah, definitely only 2. I think I decide to bait with Psystrike here because I think they're probably going to shield to try and win switch advantage. And they switch into Giratina Altered, so it was actually great that I went for Psystrike because that Dynamic Punch, which they probably thought I was going for, would have been heavily resisted by Giratina. We switch into Muck. This isn't as favorable a matchup for Muck because they're running Dragon Breath, but it's still favorable. I decide to commit a shield here because we have them to use, and this will allow me to retain switch advantage. They come back in with Registeel. We're just going to go Dark Pulse right away because we know they're going to get to a charge move very quickly. Charge move coming in. We're not going to shield, and this will let us come in with Charizard and farm down. So we're in a good position right now, but it depends on what they have in back as well. And they decide just to surrender, so they must have had something weakened back to Charizard, maybe like a Venusaur, Articuno, I'm not sure. Next game is coming against a rank 9. Mewtwo versus Registeel. I should have been leading Charizard this set. We would have had some great leads. But this is like a pretty fairly even lead. It's going to come down in the end to probably a bait scenario. I don't think we can go straight Dynamic Punch because they will outpace us to these Flash Cannons. We're over farming, and then we go for Dynamic Punch. Goes unshielded, good for us. We're gonna shield this Flash Cannon. And we once again go for Psystrike because since we already committed a shield, they're more likely to commit a shield in this situation. And once again, we do get the shield bait. I know I can survive a Flash Cannon, so I'm not gonna shield. And I just barely... Oh, man, that's tough. Great swap on their part, great recognition, and that was a very high IQ play by them to swap out into Giratina, and basically totally wasted a charge move on my part, so I should have been more aware, and I probably should have just gone for the Psystrike when I had it, because I'm not even sure if I would have gotten to that Dynamic Punch anyway. So, not a great play on our part. Let's see if we can recover. We do have a good matchup here with Alolan Muck. Going for this Dark Pulse. Will they decide to shield? They don't. Okay. So at least we took back switch advantage. Now they come in with Snorlax. Okay. This is a good matchup for Muck because it doesn't take any damage, or takes heavily resisted damage from those licks. Body Slam will probably be enough to take us out, and we want to save our shield. We're going to swap out rather than letting our Muck go down just to avoid being farmed down. We'll let this go, I assume. Just a Body Slam. We're going to try and bait here with Dragon Claw. Can we get the shield? It'd be huge if we get a shield. We do. Okay, so we still have a chance here. And I got a little greedy over farming. And this actually may be what cost me the game, over farming there, because now Reggie can come in and hit us with this Flash Cannon, and even though we're going to be able to take it out with Blast Burn, we have very minimal health on our Charizard, and one lick takes us out, another lick takes out Alolan Muck, so good games there in that set. Just 4 games for you. The first game in the set, I used a different team, so I didn't include that one. But hopefully you saw some good battles with Charizard. Blast Burn hits so hard. Dragon Claw also has a lot of play against the dragon types like Giratina. And I think Charizard is a very effective Pokemon that you can use in Ultra League. You have to be careful of the Swamperts, of course, because it's really going to struggle against Swampert. But it totally walls Registeel, and it's a great matchup against Articuno. And it can even beat Poliwrath, even though Poliwrath is a water type, which normally beats fire types. Well, Poliwrath's moves are Ice, which hits in neutral, Ground, which is resisted because of the flying type, and Fighting, which is also resisted because of Charizard's flying type. So it has good matchups against 3 great picks there in Giratina, okay matchup, Poliwrath, good matchup, Articuno, great matchup, Registeel, phenomenal matchup. With that said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video on the OG Charizard with some shiny flair in there. If you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. We've been gaining subscribers rapidly, almost 100 a day for the past week or so. We're a new channel and we're growing fast, and I really appreciate the support. So without further ado, everyone, share this content with your friends if you enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.